just blessed and so excited to see all of you this evening, and we cannot put into words just how much our family and friends truly mean to us. So we are so excited to celebrate with all of you tonight. And if you all could please stand, give this lady a huge round of applause. Every day to put all of this together for us, so I'm just so proud of her. I'm happy to be together as one, so thank you guys so much.
Comfortable, Jesse. All right, so yes, father of the bride, I'm Mike, lovely wife Kathy, mother of the bride. What a wonderful occasion. Just a glorious mass, glorious ceremony. Father Willett, thank you so much. It was so beautiful. I didn't want to leave. It was just so wonderful. So, we couldn't get out right away because of the rain, but thank you for the rain too. We need it. Yes. Just thank you all for being here. This really, Kathy and I were talking a while ago and said, this is kind of a destination wedding for a lot of us. Many of us are from Wichita. We've got lots of family in Nebraska. We've got family coming from Pennsylvania and Ohio and Pittsburgh with an H. We also have Pittsburgh with no H, Pittsburgh, Kansas, right? So 2 Pittsburghs here. But lots of family on Jesse's side, also from Kansas, all over Kansas. Oklahoma, Arizona, I heard, right? So, truly just a wonderful event bringing people from all over the United States to celebrate your marriage. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Jesse, So about August last year, we were at a family wedding in Lincoln, and he says to me, "Hey, Mike, I want to come down to Wichita and talk to you." And, he says, but I need to do it on a Saturday. Here's the Saturday. Bridget's working all day. I want to drive down, and then I'll get back up to Wichita or to Kansas City the same day. Bridget will never know I'm there. And I'm like, So being the astute dad, I got an idea of what he's going to talk to me about. And I said, well, I'm going to those of you from Wichita, Johnson Garden, right? So Johnson Garden Chili Head Beer Festival. And he's like, great. Perfect, that'll be perfect. So, okay, all right. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm thinking, all right, I know what he's up to. He's gonna feed me beer. It's a hot summer day. He's gonna wear me down, and he's gonna ask me for Bridget's hand in marriage. All right, so we get there, and as we're driving and to the Johnson Garden, right? Let's get the mug. Jesse, I need you to come down. Do you know what this is, Jesse?
I know. I have trauma from this.
There you go. This is your mug, all right? So I said, I don't do yet. Not yet. So I said, so he asked me for Bridget's hand in marriage, and I said, I'll make a deal with you. I said, I'll enter you in this Stein holding contest and see how long you can hold it, right? And if you make 3 minutes, I'll say yes. Right, so go ahead, hold it, right? So go ahead, right? Perfect form, right? And actually it was full all the way up to about here. There were about 11 other guys. I think there was a woman too involved, yep, all right? So he made it 3 minutes on the nose. And yep, so. All right, you bet. And you can have that if you want. That's actually his mug. That's his mug. But that wasn't the deal, though. So I'll tell you the real story. So on the way to the Johnson Garden Beer Festival, he did ask me for Bridget's hand in marriage. And, you know, I said, well, you know, I'll enter you in this Stein holding contest and see how long you can hold it, right? And if you make 3 minutes, I'll say yes. Right, so go ahead, hold it, right? So go ahead, right? Perfect, that'll be perfect. So You know, it was actually, it was the hottest day of the year. It really was, 111 degrees. We were outside drinking beer. I did enter him in the Stein holding contest. He actually did very well. But, you know, I told him when he asked me, I told him, Jesse, Kathy and I have been praying for you before we even knew you. We've been praying for you to come into Bridget's life, a holy spouse, long before we even knew you, and absolutely, we would be honored to, have you in our family as Bridget's husband, and a son-in-law. And I think a father knows when a man is right, for his daughter. And Jesse has a lot of good qualities, right? He's tall, right? He's tall. He's outgoing. He works at a university setting doing research, right? Kind of sound familiar, right? He's got good hair, right? But we can't all be perfect. He's a KU fan, so for my Nebraska family, he's a KU fan, right? And Wichita folks, he went to Bishop Carroll, right? We're Capon folks. You heard the East Side, West Side thing today. But, nonetheless, he's wonderful, and I'm so happy that I know you're going to take care of my baby, right? I know you will. And Bridget, you and Jesse have done it right from the very beginning. Christ-centered, love of God, all the way through your courtship. You saw the wonderful Mass today, the reverence, the love of Christ. He was even crying happiness today, right, with all the rain coming down. People were telling me that that's a good sign, right? It's good luck, rain on your wedding day. So anyway, I'm so happy for you. We're so thrilled, and God bless you for everything that you do in the future. And we're so proud to have you in our family. And thank you all, Mark and Michelle. I don't know where you are. Thank you, thank you for Jesse and for raising Jesse, Christ-centered. I'm just so glad I didn't have to follow Hannah, I'm not a nun, sister. So you might hear her later, but thank you so much. So let's raise a toast to Bridget and Jesse on your marriage. So, Bridget and Jesse.
Hi everyone, my name is Adrienne Volkmer, and Bridget and I first met in high school through some mutual friends. And then we went to college together. A few years after college, we moved to Kansas City together, where we lived together. And then when I got married, my husband and I conveniently bought a house just a block down the street from Bridget. And even now I joke with her, she is not allowed to move to Nebraska or Wichita unless we are moving too. So in college, our friendship sparked really quickly. We were both pursuing jobs in the medical field, so we had a lot of the same classes, and we both loved running. We ran our first marathon together, and we loved adventure. We did a European trip where we hiked over 200 miles. We went hang gliding, we went canyoning, and we snuck into the Zurich Opera House. Yeah. It was so easy being friends with Bridget. I mean, we just had so much fun together, but what truly makes our friendship special is that it was not just a friendship of convenience, of shared hobbies and classes, but we were continually sharpening each other. We were growing toward God and growing in virtue. And I could go on a long time talking about that and talking about all of the virtue that Bridget exhibited, but my husband said, no one's gonna remember what you say, they're only gonna remember how long it is. So listen up, because I'm going to talk fast. All right, so Jesse told me the thing that he loves most about Bridget is her heart, and I completely agree. God gifted Bridget with a heart that is full of charity, selflessness, empathy, and fortitude. So Bridget's charity. In college, one of our mutual friends hurt Bridget really bad, and I remember just being livid, and I was like, how could she say that? How could she do that to you? I cannot stand her right now. Bridget just told me how it made her feel, never said a bad word about that friend, never complained about it. and she just moved forward and treated that person just as she did before. She was truly forgiving and charitable. Bridget's selflessness. So when we lived together in Kansas City, Bridget would always tell me how much she just hated the drive back to Wichita, because typically it was like after a long working shift for her, and she was really tired, and she was honestly just afraid she might fall asleep at the wheel. But one time she told me out of nowhere she was driving down to Wichita, and it was just to see Natalie, her sister, dance for the very last time. So she made a 6-hour drive to watch you dance for 5 minutes. And then another time she went down to Wichita just to be there for her mom on her mom's birthday. So Bridget's empathy. Another time we were living together, I had just kind of gone through something traumatic for myself. And one day I just kind of broke down. I was talking to Bridget about it. And I don't remember exactly what you said, but I remember that I had never felt so seen, so known, and so loved. And I just felt God's love working through you for me. And finally, Bridget's fortitude. So Bridget has inspired me greatly just by her desire to do God's will. She would devour spiritual books, go on retreats, go to courses, do anything she could to make sure that she was trying to do God's will. And I honestly believe that this marriage is in His will. Bridget, there's a reason my children call you Aunt Bridget. You are my sister. You are my sister in Christ, and I will forever be grateful that God put you in my life. Now, Jesse, okay, you were a shoo-in from the start, because when Bridget told me about you, she said that you were from Wichita, points, and then she said that you were from the west side of Wichita, more points. I'm from the west side. And you went to Bishop Carroll and you went to St. Francis, where like all my family went. So the other great thing about that is that I could do the small town test with Jesse. And if you don't know what the small town test is, it's pretty simple. It's like a background check. You just ask them if they know the people that you know and like, and if they do know the people that you know and like, then they pass. So not only did Jesse pass, but I come to find out my sister's husband's grandpa's cousin's daughter is Jesse's dad. So, like, we're related?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that basically sealed the deal. And I think I started writing my speech that night. But really, what made me approve of Jesse was when I learned about his intentionality with all the little things that he does. Saint Jose Maria Escrivá says, "Do everything for love. Thus, there will be no little things. Everything will be big." When Jesse proposed, he placed the ring not in front of Bridget, but they were in the Adoration Chapel, and he placed the ring specifically between the Eucharist, Christ present, and him and Jesse. Because he didn't ask Bridget to marry him. They asked God if marriage is what God wanted for them. And then one other thing I learned about Jesse was that when he puts something in the microwave, he pushes 33 seconds. 33, the Jesus number. And I know that he does that as a small act of love for God. So Jesse, I am asking you tonight that every day of your life, you find a task, a sacrifice, a prayer, an offering that you can give for Bridget every day. And I promise your marriage will have many blessings. Now, this is for both of you. There will be plenty of times where you'll be called to do hard things for each other that you do not want to choose. And for that, I'm going to leave you with one more quote that's just become a staple for my husband and I in our marriage. "Sacrifice is usually difficult and irksome. Only love can make it easy, and perfect love can make it a joy." So Bridget and Jesse, my prayer for your marriage and your family is that you're able to embrace every sacrifice so that you can have authentic joy, peace, and a life of perfect love. So cheers to Mr. and Mrs. Jesse Lyle. Cheers. And now I will introduce Mr. Zach Favorite, the best man.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, hello out there in TV land. My name is Zach Favorite, friend of the bride and groom, and I will be your captain for the next 25 minutes. Now, for whatever reason, everyone is really used to a best man just spending his whole time just making fun of the groom. And don't worry, we'll get to that in a minute, okay? But I just want to take a minute to commend the couple, Jesse and Bridget. We're all so happy to witness and to celebrate such a profound and awesome occasion. You both spent time in deep discernment ever since you met. And meanwhile, you've inspired one another to strive for holiness. I've only known you all for a handful of years, but I know you've both put in a lot of hard work to live an authentically Christian life. And you spent a lot of time in prayer to make today a true testament of your love for one another and your love for the Lord. Jesse, you put your heart and soul into almost everything you touch. I don't know if you guys have been checking your emails for the past 8 months. The man is thorough, okay? The man is thorough about the things that matter most to him. You may not know this about Jesse. He has one speed, and that is 100. We were at his bachelor party, and this man asks me, "Did you bring any vitamin B?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "No, I got to take vitamin B or else I might run out of energy." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know about that." I don't know about that. There are many fruits of the Holy Spirit, one of which is joy, and Jesse and Bridget, you both embody that so well. You're always smiling, and you're always trying to help people enjoy life. A while back, Jesse and I got invited to a friend's birthday party, and I called Jesse and said, "Hey, do you want to show up to this party in togas?" And he was like, "Sure." Just a word of advice. If you choose to show up in togas to a birthday party that is not at all Greek themed, make sure you know where the party is taking place. Make sure it's not at the home of the birthday boy's girlfriend's mom and dad, the latter of which is a deacon. Because when you say, "Are we at the right place?" they will say, "No." I should sit down, but before I go, I'll cut out the rest of the last 20 minutes. But Bridget, I want to give you something. You and I both know that Jesse likes to drive. He likes to drive when he's in the front seat. He really likes to drive when he's in the back seat. Okay? Heck, one time I was going to put him in the trunk, but I was like, he'll probably drive from there, okay? So, if you ever are driving and you find yourself in a situation where he's in the passenger seat doing his thing, I have this for you. And if that doesn't work, here. All right, so let's everyone raise a glass or a fly swatter. Jesse and Bridget, we're so happy for you. You're in all of our prayers. We can't wait to see where this journey takes you. Cheers to the bride and groom.